Previously on Follow the Leader.
This is a game about two people who really, really want to, but really, really can't. Starcrossed is like being pulled in two directions at once, like when your head and heart are telling you two different things, or when what you want and what you believe in are impossible to reconcile. Savor that tension. And we decided that we wanted to see Theo and Davy one more time. And we thought, but which version of Theo and Davy? Spoilers, we're playing Theo and Davy.
The true FTL conundrum. What version of these characters are we playing?
And I hit on the idea of Theo. There is one version of Theo we have seen on Follow the Leader that hasn't been seen with a Davy. And a Theo without a Davy is not much of a Theo at all.
Aww.
So this is taking place before Theo finds himself at a certain hotel. But that's a different story. This is this story, and will hopefully be a happier thing.
We now return to your game already in progress.
Oh, mate, that's 3 hits on number 2 already.
Oh boy.
Alrighty. Scene 4, hard at work.
Do we want to have this be like, what kind of work do we want to focus on?
Work.
Mab and Jade recordings, fitting as many references to as many things as we can.
Welcome to Pop Culture References with Jade and Mab.
Woo!
How far off the topic can they get? Wait and see. I like the notion of this as maybe Theo working, because we've got we've seen like Andreas in action, as it were, like the politician's son, but maybe like introducing this other element. So yeah. Maybe, I don't know whether this is like in like a warehouse district or something like that. I don't know why why Andreas is there.
Yeah, the question is, why is Andreas there? I mean, it could also be like, you know, there was a lot of always talking about the fact when we were playing in the space version with Icarus, at least, is that, you know, it's like they're still a royal family, but I like also the idea of when it came down to Davy and the Below of being a very hands-on person. And so the idea of just like, I don't know if it's like a for show sort of political thing, or if it's something that Andreas has started doing on the side of just being like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go help out with some, like, you know, dock hands or something like that. Like,
sure,
you know, maybe like at a company his dad owns, and he'll just, you know, put on some rough spun clothes and go hang out with the locals. Yeah. But,
I do like that it's not like a facetious thing with him, though. He likes people, and
yeah. He's always like very fond of like being amongst the people, and just like being, it's like, you know, in some cases he knows that he is not one of them, but he likes to just, you know, I do like to give a hand, and there aren't any paparazzi around because he does, like, I think he does this with, like, his parents' knowledge, but he does it in a way that it's just kind of like, well, we're not going to be able to stop him, so the least we can do is just make sure he doesn't bring the cameras with him, you know, type of thing.
Absolutely.
And so, like, his dad's off doing a press thing somewhere else to be like, all right, eyes over here, you know, my son's off on a retreat type of thing, you know, just look at me.
College prep or whatever.
Yeah.
I think, maybe you're carrying something, but you definitely hear the name Delaney being yelled nearby.
Yeah.
Maybe something, you
Crash.
like something smashes. Like there's a smashing of glass. Oh, I could lean into something making this a little funny too. Okay, yeah, no crash. You hear maybe it's close enough, or maybe it's not, but you hear a door slam open, and then you just hear a voice of, all right, Delaney, just sit there and fucking just sit there, I'll come get you. And then you hear the door slam again.
Andreas is just, like, looking over the box, like, ooh, now I'm gonna be nosy.
And I think as he, like, rounds whatever they go, like, has to peep through a gate or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the rear courtyard of somewhere. And Theo is sort of, like, leaning against a wall, looking kind of pale, and sort of pale, but also with very flushed cheeks, you know, that kind of vibe. And looks like they're struggling to focus a little bit.
Is it like an open courtyard, or would Andreas have to, like, open up the door and step inside?
I think you would have to, like, step through something. It's not, like, immediately walkable into.
Yeah, it was just mostly like if he calls over, would it be audible?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, the door to the building has been shut again.
Okay. So he'll just kind of, like, look left, look right, and then adjust the box under like with one arm, and then pull open the door and poke his head and just be like, "Did you get sent to the principal's office?"
Like, head sort of, like, locks up, snaps up, which immediately looks like the expression of extreme regret crosses over Theo's face, having moved like that. And you see, like, one eye is super dilated and one eye isn't. For clarity for our listeners, I'm imagining, like, you know, when you are brewing illegal alcohol, somebody's got to try to make sure you don't go blind. Because that's how bathtub gin and stuff works. So I think, like, he's the youngest and the smallest, so it's going to kick in quick on him.
Yeah.
On them. So, yeah. And hence why sort of, like, basically drunk, but also kind of sick at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Andreas will just, like, go, oh, no. Put down the box and come over and kneel in front of Theo and put his hands on either side of their face to just kind of, like, study them a little bit closer. And just kind of, like, checking to make sure to see, like, if they're able to, like, focus on him at all, just, you know, or if it's just completely, like, unfocusing and stuff like that.
Our hands are cold.
Your face is very warm.
Why are you here? That's like one eye is able to kind of focus on you. The super dilated one, it's hard to tell. The other one is able to, like, look at you, though, like, focus on your face.
Yeah. Well, you know, knight in shining armor. I show up where I'm needed.
Where were you when I needed you then? Hmm?
Andreas will just be like very quiet at that. And look at them, just like, oh.
Unintentionally revealing something personal. Yes, it's sort of like clearly just trying to blink a little, just like,
Mhm.
it's. No, really though. You shouldn't be here. You'll get into trouble.
No, well, maybe in this office, but at the work site, I'm fine. Even in the office, I'm fine.
There's here banging inside, behind, in the building behind Theo, and sort of they look back over their shoulder, taking Andreas's hands with them.
Yeah, just, Andreas will just gently guide their face back in his direction.
You're wearing normal clothes.
I always wear normal clothes.
Not normal for you clothes. Normal clothes.
I help out here sometimes.
Why?
Why not?
You're avoiding the question, Mr. Oriole.
That's a very good question. I avoid lots of questions. It is a politician's skill.
I thought you were all about being forthright. You have the impression that they're trying to give you a little bit of a look, like,
yeah,
but like where they can't focus properly, the effect is completely ruined.
Yeah. I think Andreas has just kind of taken to rubbing their thumb over like Theo's brow of like the one eye that's sort of like squinting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I help out here sometimes. I don't know how much more descriptive I can be. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. If you say so. And smiles a little bit, just like, you're so weird, I don't get you.
Listen. You know, like, I go where... I think it's very important for people like me to be able to give a hand where needed. And to be able to do it without it being some sort of publicity stunt.
Theo looks a little bit thoughtful. I think I get it. You're a good person.
I try.
I wish I knew more people like you.
Oh, that wouldn't make me special.
Andreas, you are. That's not what makes you special. And I think there's a yell from inside. And she's like, I should get back to work.
You can't work in this condition.
I'm used to it. And you should get back to what you're doing. I'm sure you'll be missed.
I'll be here if you need anything, okay?
Sure. And just sort of goes to like wave you off, like as in a wave goodbye, and misjudges the distance and just does a just down your chest, the front. And you're just like, oh, you're there. So.
Yeah. Andrea's just like, oh, that's a hand in my face. Okay.
Will I get tired of playing characters under the influence or sick? No, I will not. Makes me happy. All right. God, I love these two so much.
I love them a lot. I'm glad that we can just play them being doofuses.
It's good shit. Oh
Yeah.
no, the prompt for the next scene.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, baby.
Scene 5. The prompt is close, quiet, and alone. Lordy. What on earth does this scene look like?
It could. Let's see. It could be like at some sort of. So would Theo be like just a deliverer, or would they do like other odd jobs? The idea of them being like posing as serving staff for a fancy party.
Oh yeah, love that.
Andrea's like pulling them aside and just being like, "Oh hi."
I love this. I love this big fundraising meal, and maybe it's like a
Yeah.
big restaurant or something, or like a dance,
like a
definitely
banquet hall. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was like, what the fuck word am I looking for? How maybe this hall is like the legitimate front for the people that what's my character's name? Theo works for. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. Like, so he's in like the proper
they're all dressed up and a little like got a little bow tie.
Yes, exactly that. Looks really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Hair is kind of slicked. I was gonna say, actually, I feel like how much they care. There's been some attempt to cover up like the couple of the splotches on their face. Just a little bit to maybe minimize it a little. And maybe like it's a fancy party with low enough lighting as well. So
they've got a friend who does stage makeup that can help. Yeah.
Yeah. But absolutely, I love this idea.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe also maybe Theo's not directly going to the tables like that part of the service, but
right
is definitely there.
Yeah, just like as a busser,
yeah,
be like removing things afterwards. In which case, Andreas is of course extremely dressed up, really nice suit, just looks brilliant in the way that he does.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. And, you know, is spending a lot of time schmoozing and talking to people who are, you know, going to be donating or, you know, trying to, I won't say wine and dine because there's, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. To schmooze, yep. And, we'll just maybe be like going to go grab like another tray of something because they'll be like, oh, well, we're out of this. We should go flag down one of the servers. And Andrea's like, oh, no, I'll go get it. I know where it is. Obviously helped oversee the entire like prep of the evening. Yeah. And we'll go back to the kitchen area to see about getting another one set up. Another little tray of hors d'oeuvres. And
I feel like, has he spotted Theo working at this yet?
He might not have realized that it was Theo. Or, because, like, he's been really focused on, like, the whirl of activity. Because, like, when it came to the first scene, it was just like, well, I'm standing here and smiling, and that gets kind of boring. And so that's why his attention was wandering. But when it comes to, like, actually being actively engaged, like, that's where he thrives.
Yes.
And so his thoughts were, like, extremely focused on the people in front of him and the person at the next table over that he was going to go talk to next. And just being like, I have this battle plan all mapped out in my head and perfect way to go and increase everyone's approval ratings so we can get out of the Winter Palace with 100% and get the achievement bell of the ball. And that's some Dragon Age references for all of you.
Okay.
Sam will get that one. And just, you know, just kind of going, doing that whole thought process that he definitely doesn't notice that Theo is even here.
You have to act first.
Yes.
So,
What would...
to be fair, you've described your character's movements, so
Yeah.
that is you. So this is okay.
Okay.
Um,
So I was going to say it's that, or Davy does physically run into
yeah, no.
to Theo when they're not paying attention.
I feel like you have the tray handed to you,
Mm-hmm.
and as you turn, you're like, that really is my job, not yours.
Well, if it isn't, little my favorite little Theo. And
Stop.
Davy will just also kind of grin and then lift the tray up higher so they can't take it.
Mr. Oriel, because I'm aware that there's other people around.
Yeah.
Please, I would hate for you to drop something on that very nice suit of yours. Please let me carry it to your table for you.
The canapes do not wait for any man, and will just kind of like grin and do a little sidestep around them.
And I feel like Thea gets a look from one of the other servers and just sort of like, you follow, because obviously they don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
And somebody like makes gestures like, maybe you'll get a tip. And just sort of like, So like Theo shadows Andreas back to where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
And whispers to him as they walk, I hope you drop it on your head.
Oh, another one of my secret skills is actually... You should see the lessons my mother has made me do to work on my poise and posture.
I can believe it. Is that why you're so tall?
Oh, yes, it is my regal bearing.
Is that what it is?
And then I think that he'll drop it off at the table, but then instead of stopping, we'll just keep walking. And with the expectation that Theo will follow.
They follow.
Um,
Mr. Oriel, what is it that I can help you with? Until like they're out of sight of other people.
Yeah. Well, you can at first start by telling me how you're faring.
I'm fine. I mean, I'm working.
Yes. Swanky little setup. Just kind of like give them a little once over.
I think that's relative, don't you? And gestures at Andreas's incredibly fancy and nice getup.
Yes, but I mean, like you said, this is regular for me.
Is it?
Alright, it is a little on the fancy side. I did have to get fitted for this.
Suits come fitted?
No, they don't come fitted. You go and get them fitted.
I mean, like you could... My suit fits, though. I don't understand.
Oh.
Wow! Fucking wow!
That was so unintentional.
It's very good. It's very good.
And so Andreas will kind of like reach out and like pinch the cuff by their the cuff on their wrist. And just and then also kind of like pinch at like their collar and just kind of like do like little touches like that. And just being like, you can take it in here, let it out a little over there, and just sort of like, make a point. It fits, but it's not tailored to you.
I think there's this moment where he's doing that and Theo doesn't say anything. Like, I like the notion that there's this sound of the party in the next room. Like, they're in like a little side hall.
A little alcove, yeah.
Yeah. And there's this moment, I feel like no one's ever really cared much about how well my clothes fit. And sort of reluctantly goes to step back a little bit. Like, feels like can't be caught like this, but doesn't want to increase the distance between them, you know?
Yeah. So Andreas will, like, notice and put his hands back behind his back and just kind of, like, give a little smile. I think everyone should be allowed to care about how they look once in a while.
I don't think I would be dressing like this if I could choose.
It doesn't look that bad on you.
No, but I don't think it feels quite right either.
Things Andreas would not say. It's just like, that outfit looks good on you, but it would look better on my floor, but that is not a card he'll pull.
I think, like, there's this quiet lull, and the two of them are just there, and without looking up, I'm sort of, like, looking somewhere at maybe, like, his cravat or, like, his pocket square or whatever. Just sort of like, I just, sometimes, people expect me to be a certain thing, and I don't think I'm that, and I don't quite know what I am. But I know this isn't it. Does that make any sense? Because I intentionally reveal something personal.
Ooh la la. Pull out your once per game move.
We're on scene 5.
Yeah. It's gonna have to happen.
Uh-huh.
We're on scene 5, and we have, like, what happens if we fill up every single number, huh?
I mean, at this point, if we want to say next one to 4.
Yeah.
All right.
The next one to 4, or if we can get one of every single number.
God, actually, that's hilarious.
We're just missing a 6, a 10, and a 12 at this point.
Yeah, okay. So do we want to say filling up all the numbers, or do we want to say first to 4, or we fill all the boxes?
Yeah.
All right, then.
Either or, yeah. And, like, hands still behind his back, Andreas will just kind of, like, lean it a little bit and just say, the most important thing is you feeling comfortable with who you are and being able to find that space for yourself. Don't you think?
I'll let you know if I find it. How does that sound?
I think that'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I think it would be. And sort of takes another step back. She's like, I have to get back to work.
Same.
And just does a little finger wave and scurries off.
Andreas will just sort of, like, wait a little bit for them to go and disappear into the crowd before he also reappears.
God, they're so goddamn cute and gay. What the fuck? Ugh. All right. Well, after that bit of fluff, scene 6. A disagreement becomes heated.
Well.
What if this is, like, something to do with the bigger picture? Like, something maybe with Andreas' father, or with Theo's employers?
Yeah, I think, see, either one would be good.
I've got an idea if you've not got a strong feeling.
No, go ahead.
What if, I feel like Andreas is smart enough to put together what Theo does.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So I like the thought that maybe there has been, like, a very public raid on, like, moonshine makers and stuff like that. And Theo didn't get caught. But, like, maybe even there was something, maybe it was something in the papers, and when Andreas goes to, like, his dock job, sees that the building that he had found Theo outside of is, like, a wreck. Like, clearly. And maybe this is about, like, him trying to convince Theo to do another job or something like that. So, and also I like that, if you like this, that he knows vaguely where Theo lives. Vaguely. Of him just, like, what if it just like it's Andrea showing up, like asking asking people like offhandedly, like trying to find Theo? Because I can see him being really worried because like this is like there's no cell phones. It's not like he can just like text go, "Yo, you okay? I saw the news."
Yeah. Jobu, what up?
God. You're a menace to society.
So yeah, I kind of just like, or just also him going over to the corner where they did drop off Theo in the end, and then just making his way over to 8th and 7th, and just being like, hey, and I think by this, yeah, obviously by this point, he's also put together that their name is Theo Delaney. And so, like, he's probably wearing, I mean, like, he's wearing his clothes that he just came from the dock worker's job at, but also you can totally tell he's a polished boy. Yeah. And so it's just like he gets more disgruntled looks than not, and a lot of unhelpful answers. But to the point where he is asking enough people that word does get back to Theo. Just like,
yeah, like
some
a guy
prep looking for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Theo like darts out. I think like maybe one of their hands is like super wrapped up. And with their other hand just like grabs the front of yeah, this is full on like grabs the front of Davy, like, what are you doing here? And like, you know, good times, drags Andreas,
pulls them down, by the collar,
into like an alleyway.
Yeah,
it's like, what are you doing?
What? I'm trying to make sure that you're okay.
I'm fine.
You don't look fine.
It's not a big deal.
It is a big deal. In the grand scheme of things, Theo Delaney, it is a very big deal.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm nobody. Andreas. It's fine. I'm fine. This will be fine. And gestures at like their wrapped hand. You coming here looking for me? What if somebody recognized you?
No one's going to be here looking for me.
The number of people that just came up to me to say someone was looking for me.
Yes, and how many people can point a finger and say, okay, maybe a few people.
People read the papers.
I just wanted to make sure that you were okay. I gave you a way to contact me. I have no way of contacting you. I have no idea. I mean, you say you're nobody, but I don't want to believe that's true. To me, at least.
They pull right back, like leaning on the other side of the alley wall, like the opposite wall. Just like looking at him, like hold like injured hand like up to their chest, like.
And Andreas is just like, oh, jeez, I probably shouldn't have said that.
You can't say things like that.
Oh, guess what?
Oh! Oh no! Okay, so
I just drew a little nose.
That's the tower falling.
Yeah, that was Andreas unintentionally revealing something personal, which is I think means then that he's going to step forward and like take their uninjured hand and press a little kiss to their knuckles.
God. All right. Yeah, shit. So, is there any more to that? Or is that just... Let's finish this. Let's get the scene to a point. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, Davy's just... Theo's just looking up at him, just like, you can't.
Why won't you let me? A knight in shining armor. You asked me why I wasn't there when you needed me. I'm here now. Can't I do something to help? I don't want to put you in a position where you think that I'm just... I know, this is...
I don't want anything to happen to you.
Nothing will happen to me. Be worried about yourself, Theo.
Oh, I am. You aren't supposed to be like this. And just sort of like lets their head like fall against his chest.
He'll pull them in for a hug. And also press a kiss to the top of their head.
I'm gay. Did I
Get them in
mention?
distress.
Yeah. All right. I feel like that's the scene. So now we have to add up the number of field stars we have on our character sheets, combine them, and then we'll compare the result to the epilogue chart.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be a 4. 3, that's a 5. I got 10.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because one of those was the wrong scene, but it's fine. That's why I did that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 19. Ooh. And a 19. When you can tear yourselves away from the climax of your story, move to the epilogue. Combine the number of stars. We did that. This represents our attraction score. Use the corresponding result the same way you use the text on the scene cards as an inspiration and a constraint. Your roles of lead and follow are set aside now. The dance is over. Together till the end of your character's story. What do they finally say to each other? What still goes unsaid? What do they do and where do they go? Indulge in scenic descriptions and sensual details. This is the grand or tastefully understated finale to your story. And a 17 to 19... Sweet, cherished love with the bitter certainty of loss.
Yikes!
Like,
wow! Mwah! Chef's kiss!
Mab and I talked about what we needed to happen, like, or a vague end goal, and that just is perfect.
It's perfect.
Holy shit. So, I think
yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
As I say, I like this moment of after that, like, maybe it's like a series of images, and it's like Theo takes Davy, and it's like a room in a tenement building, and just maybe sort of and we see like this one of them explaining to him what the situation is and just why it's so dangerous for them. But like the whole time, like, they're holding Davy's hand with their good hand.
Yeah. Andreas will definitely ask along the lines of, like, you know, what can I do to get you to safety? Like, anything I can offer. And just, I don't want you under the thumb of these people.
And I think maybe there's this montage of Theo, like, packing a bag, and maybe Davy's, like, looking for places that they could go and getting them some money, and, like, between them they find this place, and it's got, like, this, it's a hotel, and it'll be fine, it's far enough away they won't think to look, and I just, because of who I am as a person, I just love the visual of, like, doing the train station goodbye. As Theo gets out of town, but like, and it's Davy seeing them onto the train, and like talking to each other through the window, like in the door window.
Andrea stepping up onto the
Yes.
the cart, the little rail at the bottom, and giving
Yeah.
them a kiss.
Yeah, and like Theo's hair is like loose and longer, and just like, promise you'll come find me.
Always.
You've got the number of the hotel, right?
I do.
I'll talk to you soon.
Be safe.
I'll try.
And Andreas will step back.
And the train pulls away, and we see Theo entering the front foyer of a hotel. He approaches the front desk, and there's a very pleasantly smiling concierge. The camera can't show his face. And then it says like,
Hello, welcome. What can I put you down under?
oh, Theo Delaney is fine.
Fantastic. Scribble, scribble, scribble. And will you be needing one king, two twins?
I think Theo flushes a little bit. A twin room, I think. Somebody should be joining me.
Certainly, we'll have that made up. Any luggage?
Just this. Just like a small, like, carpet bag sort of situation.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, it's kind of dead. I'll just show you to your room myself.
Do you
Picks up the bag.
not need to know how long I want to stay?
It's not really up to either of us.
Okay.
And the front doorman, the desk manager, walks over to the elevator and hits the button.
Credits.
Ugly crying.
Ugly cry.
Ugly crying.
Ugly cry.
I just want them to be happy.
Oh, well, that was Star-Crossed.
Mhm.
They say it takes about 2 hours.
Yeah, look at us.
Fucking skills.
For once, we're at the recommended time frame.
August will be pleased.
Yeah.
August, we did it.
We did it, August. If this was me, it would be turned into one episode.
But yeah, let's do a wrap. I was supposed to say this is, although recorded out of order, this is Mab's final recording.
Yeah. Remember what I said on Twitter about my final recording being episode 60? That's a lie. You'll never know because this comes out of order.
I am really glad that we got to play Theo and Davy again.
I am too. It's a
I
good
will-
little ending.
I'll commission you in the future and just be like, make it right again, fix it.
Fix it, Vic, for our own mistakes. We did this to ourselves.
We did this to ourselves.
On purpose.
As always, we are the architects of our own destruction. This has been Follow the Leader. If you're not already following us on Twitter, you can do so at FTLcast. If you like what we do and want to see us make more of it, go to patreon.com/ I nearly said friends at the table. No, we're Follow the Leader. FTLcast at Patreon. And you should go and support Mab. Mab, where can people find you if people don't know already?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Patreon at Little Lady Mab. If you too want me to write Fix It Fic for our own fucked up, endings to our characters, I've got commissions. There's a littleladymab.card. Whatever the extension is for card. But come give me a Ko-fi and I'll write you 500 words of them being cute as fuck.
And I've been Jade. You can find me on Twitter at JadeOxidRose. Please feel free to come yell at me because I'll be yelling at myself. And you can follow the guild at Stones_standing. You can also hear me on Dumb Kids Playing Hero, where I play another emotionally complicated person who thinks I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you like Animorphs and you like suffering, those two things will circle. One by saying, check out Dumb Kids
Venn
Playing Hero.
diagram? No, it is a circle.
It is a circle. DKPH Pod on Twitter. Let's do a clap.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
Hi, it's August, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on your podcast platform of choice, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about us using the FTLcast hashtag. We are also part of a nonprofit podcasting guild called Standing Stones Productions. We do a variety of shows, including The Room Where It Happened and Dumb Kids Playing Hero, 2 actual play shows, and a Steven Universe discussion podcast called Gay Space Rocks. We also do live streams at twitch.tv/StandingStonesProd. You can keep up with everything that we do on Twitter at Stones_standing. Unfortunately, Standing Stones was already taken. Your support means a lot. Thanks again!